Boogly boogly boo. Hello, potato. Okay, late Eternity Day. Why is it late? Okay, we got some options here. Boss stage non-playable. Kutaka wasn't in 19. She was in 17.5, but she's not playable. Well, get your day. Why is it triple? Boom. And she has wings, and she's not here. She'd actually be great. She fits 6 of these spots. You know who fits Tenchi? Is Tenchi non-human? She was human and is now celestial. So does that count? That's a good question. What's mean? What did I say? Not human. I'm asking if she is or not. I didn't say she is or isn't. It was a possibility. Celestials are ascended humans and hermits. They're still classified as humans, though. Noted. There's a lot of characters that could fit here. I want to do Momio. She came to mind. Doing gang also humans, but it's also hermits, fair. Let's do Momio, because I like her. 2.7, not great, not terrible. Non-playable, non-human. Hello, Light General. What are you fucking? Okina was never playable. 2.2? Eh, whatever. Which mobile isn't working? Hate to see it. Are the dancers non-human? Preliminary work of the Exotono piece have arrived. Nice. We don't actually know. How much do I want to gamble? Because, like, I could put one of them here, and I could put one of them up here. We also do Satono right here. Oh, gosh. They never expect Mai right here. Oh. Eternity Day, late Eternity Day. Wings. Wings is tricky. 9.4? Really? Oh. Total dancer sweep. I got the squad. I got Okina, Mai, and Satono. Megamoo down here because she has wings. 2.8. Wings. If I could fly. Does Arya have wings? I feel like that's on her outfit, but I don't know if I have for fact. What is this image? Curious image 11. Is Arya too easy? Because she's got, like, those, like, weird shit behind her. Do you think that counts as wings? Need a piece of work with another Fred? Nice. Sagume, true. This says has wings, plural. Sagume only has one wing. Sagume 100% counts. But, actually... I could time you. I could give you the 11 treatment. I'm gonna likely have playing with the dancers piece. Is it Yuri? Maybe. You think most of the fairies count with wings? So I could do, like, the Dai Yussi here, right here. Yeah, wait, why don't we take it? I'm just getting trigger happy. I already have trigger happy Havoc. I already have the game, I don't need to get it. Does nobody count as wings? It should. Which of the Bakas do I want to go for? Or do we even go for any of them? He's never playable. Your mama's never playable. I don't think of anything else, like, jumps to me. As far as wings are concerned. He's 12? Who are you talking about? Daisei or something else entirely? And whatever you're talking about, I'm sure you're pulling that out of your ass. Lady Whiterock. Let's go Sunnyville. Not bad. 24, 649, not bad. High spot. Low ranking on the high spot, but still pretty solid. Ooh, yesterday's win rate was not great. We gotta see what yesterday's grid was. Most common. When multiple most common categories have legendary picks. And the second most common pick there. Really, for Sarah, I'm kind of surprised. It says rings and pod. Yeah, we've been through that before, it looks like. That was like old history at this point. I didn't want to go for that. As most common. Second most common. Oops. Showing Mayumi up here. Interesting. Yoshika as well. I thought about putting Yoshika down here. You know, Wriggle is... over here, Wriggle's a character I thought about. Also, I love secret character. Moko. Oh, the Getsus. Satono. I had Satono in the wrong spot! No! Oh, it's never been more joy. Universal Fits. Eternity and Wriggle. As wings. Oh, Tokiko's a solid show. I mean, not a solid show. That's really picked. I had a good Sunny Milk pick. We take that. Arya did count. Yup. I love secret character. It's really cool. Girl has wings. I mean, it's not surprising that she has wings. She's a bug. I wish it did the thing where it showed you, like, where she's depicted with them. Right? Because I presume that's supposed... That look just looks like part of her outfit. She was a black cape with red lining, which is shaped to resemble insect wings. However, Aku describes her as having actual wings. So Aku wrote about it once. And that's why she has wings. I'm not too tilted. I can sign in. Okay, yesterday was Balatro. Jimbo, Jimbo, Jimbo! You've never lied before. I read Aku's writing on Wriggle. She describes in great detail the best way to beat the shit out of Wriggle. Noted. Name ends. I can't remember that. Here's an... This is like almost every character. At least Windows character. Oh, I hate the duo trio category. Oh, why did I load this up? /4. What's your problem? I can't fuck Conoco. Let's just get it over with because I'm cooked in these categories. Show percentages? What do you mean? What do you mean to escape to show percentages? You can't see the percent? Oh, you can't see the percent at the bottom. Ha ha ha, you can't see these picks. Oh! Absolutely cooked. Surely you're in this, right? Does Raiko have like an ability card? Sunny MILF. Answer Touhou votes? No. Ugh, 11%. Yeah, let's get out of that category. I mean, I actually a higher percent than I was on the today's one. Good image. Holy USD bias, Batman. Why is Alice a duo/trio? Well, okay, the Wagyu one makes sense. Like patchy there, GGM washed. Go back through the duos and trios and look at things. Yukari, that would make sense. I fucking hate this one. I think he's 12th most popular pick. Sakuya? Perishable Knight, I just gotta remember. Okay, not bad. Why is Alice Parvadu and Perishable Knight? Imperishable Knight and Subterranean Animism, that for that fact, actually. So what do you mean we have more than 3 magicians? There are only 3 magicians, smiley face. Marissa, Patchouli, and Byakuran. Alice is dead. She's not around anymore. Narumi doesn't exist. And some of the PC-98 characters that some people might call magicians at times are PC-98, so they're clearly not real. Bro, I had a really productive morning. I was like, great, this is like my one, like, this morning from when I woke up to stream. It was like, oh, great, this is my one period where I can, like, I have extended free time. I can go, like, play some, like, things in my off time. I could try to, like, write something. There's stuff I can do. And I just spent, like, 3 hours on my phone in bed. Real productive. I hate gaming journalists. The phone off screen, yeah. It said this time nothing more than just the usual shit that makes you look at the name of an article and be like, I hate humanity. Ooh, cat. Don't know why Kassen's animals outrank some others in the poll. What do you... Where's this going? I think the better question is why is Kassen's animals on the poll in the first place? Netflix are so much they pull out their secondary votes on the animals. I thought you were gonna mention some bestiality shit. Real knowers know about Yiko and the pigs. some lovely weather we're having today. Rained a little bit yesterday, but it's nice. It's not too warm out. It's just very solid weather. What elephant? You went and touched grass? Good job, I'm proud of you. It is important to, despite enjoying your computer time, to have a life outside of it where you can go outside. You can't even type. Hey, I don't condone it. I didn't write it. It's not even visual. There's the good news. It's not even visual. Sirs, thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. We're here today to backpack off of my good day last time, Thursday, and definitely not suffer to this game's mid-game. But hello, hope you're streaming well with whatever you're doing. And hello to everyone who is with you. Hearing, I try my best. Well, sometimes I do. Sometimes it's hard to keep putting up the effort continuously, but I try my best. Hello, Snare. Hello, FIFA demo. I'm sorry, FIFA 13 specifically. Wait a second, you're the one who made the grid I just did 10 minutes ago. Wait a minute. It's normal. There's a username. I've seen a lot more out there. Like Potato Bot. Okay, well, let's back to the wonderful world of Stage 3. Oh, I was too far to the left? Really? I love Stage 3. It's my favorite thing in the world. Hello, Walrus. to getting ads, and after the ads, you get pop-up tells you to add subscribe to the channel. It's like, so here's the mechanic about YouTube streaming, okay? So, one thing that's about YouTube streaming, you can disable ads. Even if you're monetized, you can disable ads. But what's interesting is that, or funny per se, is that it does the very similar thing. But if you stream, what you can do, or what'll happen is there'll be a little like pop-up says, enhance the experience for members by enabling ads. Because members on YouTube don't get ads on your channel for that. You know, it follows a very similar sub-purpose. And it's really funny because it says enhance the experience for that. It doesn't enhance anything. It only makes it worse for other people. Despite the wording. It's a very... you just saying what you did just reminded me of that. I think I heard about that. Oops. Drake do be like that sometimes. Internet ads if they were for stuff you want to buy all the time. True. Listen, give me the Cartoon Network ads back in the day, or the Nickelodeon ads back in the day. Okay, give me the Super Soaker technology. Let me know what the modern day of that is. Okay, I don't want to see your ads on on these politicians running. I don't care. Okay, there's local races of the area that, or in the state. And there was some voting on that, that just happened. I'm like, I don't care. And now the political ads are on the downturn, but come up November, it's going to be back on the uptick again. Streamer updates the title of the game, and Twitch uses them to force ads. Oh, I want to check something. Run 3 minutes of mid-roll ads per hour during your stream to fully disable pre-roll ads. See, I wish I could just disable both. Like, generally speaking, I have, like, everything pushed to, like, the minimum it can be. Did someone gift... Did you not see when you were literally here 2 days ago? And Pazoots gave it to you while you were literally here. Please enable all the ads to keep the poor and stupid people out. People can't type ad blocker. You won't catch me with an ad blocker. You spell condense without the second N? There's ERP sessions we keep removable. You right, yeah. Yeah, you know me, I'm a huge ERPer. Yeah, I'm uploading all your chat messages to Grok right now. Jarvis! Turn Potato Bot into my sexy wife. Well, I don't do that. This is misinformation from big anti-ERP. Okay, has anyone here ever ERP'd? Enterprise research playing, yes. And regular roleplays of what kind? Okay. Of the sexual kind? I'm going to buy a lawyer. Get your counts as a non-playable character on the Touhou grid. Interesting. I don't have a strong stake on the Genji-uns and things. Besides, I generally will not pick them. Every conversation of the furry is basically RP. You got to invest in character cards from your investment in RP era. Yes, I want to be RP with Game Glitcher. Okay, you get to act as Okina says something. No, that's not... Okina would never say that. No! This is calculus to organized group thing. It is an RP game. Listen, the closest thing to RPing I've ever done is when I was younger, and by younger, so I'm 24, this would be 14, 15 years ago, okay? I would probably been 9, 10, 11. I think 12 or 13 at the oldest was like the last time we ever did this. We do this occasionally every year, so... Family friend of ours would come over once in a blue moon, and they have 4 kids as well, and I have 3 siblings, so it's 4 kids and 4 kids. What we would do is our moms would talk in the living room for like 3-4 hours. They just sit there and talk like they do, and the rest of us we had this whole dress up bucket, okay? It was just various things, nothing too crazy. Like my sister's like old ballet dress, and just like some other things, some like royal dresses in quotes, some like random stuff, random outfits, some hats, some gloves, some just other things. And what we do is we just dress up and like in random stuff and pretend some sort of like king, like some sort of like castle thing. So my older brother would always be the king, and while they were girls, they'd be the king and queen. And most of the other girls, because it was predominantly girls, it was a 5-to-3 girl group, were all like the maids. And then the younger boy was a knight, and then I always just was like, whatever. The wandering, mysterious person that would get in trouble with the royalty. And I had this purple hat and purple gloves that were my older sister's, part of my older sister's ballet, like recital or something. From when she would have been like 6 or something during that time. When she did those, I still have that hat and the 2 gloves. Although the one glove, the part of one of the fingers is notably ripped, and the rose on the hat is gone, I still have the hat and gloves literally at my desk here. Last time I brought them out was when my younger sister got married, what, 2 years ago? I brought them to the wedding. I didn't wear them during it, but like right after it was over, I pulled them out. I ran out to my car, I told my sister, I was like, I'm gonna bring something out. And she asked me ahead of time, is it the fucking hat and gloves? And I didn't respond to that. I just pulled up with those. You say you were king? No, I was never the king. I was never the royalty. Even when I was like 8, 9, I would be the wandering, mysterious person that tried to act all cool and take down the royalty or whatever. Cross-dress Fonzo lore. No, I never wore the dress or anything. I just wore the gloves and hat because I liked them. The gloves, nice. Unfortunately, because like these are the gloves that when my older sister was younger, like they fit the entire arm. They can barely go to my elbow and they don't fit great, but I can still wear them. The hat doesn't sit properly on my head fully, but it's still great. European, the SDM, yeah. That's like the biggest extent of, I guess, RPing that I've ever done. We've done that quite a number of times when I was younger, but eventually, by the time I was about a teenager, my older siblings and their older siblings went to college and other such things, and that type of action stuff. No, I just remembered the second thing I could talk about. I wouldn't really call it true RPing, although it's interesting in its own way. So anyway, people are, I'm sure, at least familiar with the concept of choose your own adventure and stuff. CYOA. As a concept. Oops. If they're wearing garters, no. Like I say, it was the only things I ever wore were 2 gloves and a hat. The only time I've ever like truly dressed up in a girl's outfit was when I did Miku last year. Or 99% of SFW. Well, that's the ones that you're finding. Anyway. So, where I'm going... The R key's not working. It's been a while since this happened. So there's a bunch of NSFW ones that you'll find online. But I've never like done any of those like RP like things or things that people do with that. But is anyone here familiar with the messed up waifu? BYOA. I just know because it's called that. So this is one that I forget where I found out about this. But I found out about this years ago. Probably when I was like 13 or something. I forget exactly, 13, 14, somewhere along those. I forget where I stumbled upon this one in particular. It was the first one I'd ever seen like this. And I'm sure people have seen similar ones, but the messed up waifu CYOA, it's pretty straightforward as far as CYOAs are concerned. It's it's a complete fictional thing. You pick a bunch of traits for your waifu. There's a couple other things to set up or like theoretical RP plot or whatever, but it's relatively straightforward. But it is, you get a bunch of stuff, and then there's all the traits you can pick for, you know, the girl, right? You know, what do you want your quote unquote waifu to have, trait wise? I cannot pull up this on stream because there are some images that are not stream appropriate. Okay, but I found about it, and I found it also really funny because there's a lot of these things that are just humorous. And at one point, I don't know, 8-9 years ago, I showed it up to my friends, and we went through kind of just like looking through it all and kind of just laughing and talking about it. And where I'm going with this is one thing we used to do a lot. We haven't really done much of this in a long time. Is murder. Okay. And not real life murder. I'm talking about like playing a game murder. A Sega on the title screen. Is that true? I have all the images saved somewhere. Oh yeah. This is that's the one. Is it the one? Yes, that's the one. I think. Yeah, it looks like it. Although it looks a little different. It definitely looks a little different. Like it's almost the same, but at the very least, a lot of the images definitely are different, but it's still broadly the same thing. Anyway, what I'm going with this is, so we used to play a game for a long time with me and my friends. It was murder. We had these small plastic hockey sticks. And what we do is we turn all the lights off, and each person would get a card. You're either innocent or a murderer. Very pseudo Gmod murder-like. And what you do is walk around. If an innocent kills you can kill anyone at any time. If an innocent kills an innocent, the killer dies, not the bad person. The murderer's goal is to kill everyone. And we do this in the dark. It was cool. It was fun time. We used to do this a lot when we had more people in the area to do this with. And there was one time where we would do this, but what we did was before every round, we would random dice roll 3 of the traits from the messed up waifu thing. And you had to pretend to act out those 3 traits during that round of murder. It was really funny. RPing Among Us? Nope, never did that. Some good old times. Maybe we need to start the Alfonso RP sessions. We all get together, do some RP. What do you guys think? What do you mean hot react? Doesn't it sound like a great time? Girl, stop going away from me. Type of 2 paragraphs or message. You get to watch. You get to sit in the cup chair and watch the RPing. Heard the new Mickey theme. A what? Was there a remix of her theme or something on the new album, new Zune album that came out? Or is this something else entirely? Yes. I have probably heard maybe a minute's worth of music off of Zune's albums before, period. So I have not heard a thing off of the new album. No amount of art will make Patchy have big boobs or pudgy. Yeah, but that's not going to stop people. Like, thick patchily is has such a history in the Touhou scene that, like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's always going to exist. Ooh, early 4.0. Like, you could come out and say, no, Yuka will not step on your balls, but, like, that's not gonna change anything. Girl, stop going away from me. Except your girl's flat. I mean, it can be anything you want it to be. Like, he could show up and say, yes, Reimu X Renosuke is canon. But that's not gonna stop the Reimu fucking Marissa shippers. They won't care. To be fair, Zoot can, like, announce a lot of things, but there's only, like, 10 people who, like, really take to heart every, like, canon thing, and, like, Game Glitcher is one of them. Welcome to the wonderful world of Stage 3! I hate that. I think what Zune should do is just, like, randomly just, like, make posts about it, or, like, talk in, like, an interview or something, and just say, like, an extraordinarily random and, like, basically irrelevant fact. But just something out of nowhere. Not too dissimilar from the whole, like, Yukari probably smells a lot thing. And the Okina has, black hair. But she dyes it. Like, imagine he just shows up. Yes, Mike is actually left-handed. Know which yokai is a human in disguise? All of them. He's just a smoker for the village. Like, give me a post from Zune. Like, despite her wearing black and red, Sekibanki's favorite color is actually pink. Ah, double tap. What a cool spell. Oh, right, my R key still doesn't work right now. Alright, no Arky. Chen actually really likes reading books in her off time. Just random shit. Is there AI slot games you could play on YouTube? Play on YouTube? Also, Game Glitcher. I'm absolutely fucked for tomorrow. There is... Oh, the Elite Four is so fucked. No, what do you mean by that? Listen, one of the encounters I got on Thursday, Final Tribulation on one. One of them, Puppet Grudged on one. One of them was an extra Yuki, but that's a dupe, and that was the only encounter there. And the other one I got, which was Defense and Mystia. But, how am I supposed to beat the Elite Four with my... Hey, the Arcu's working in. With what I have. Problem is, I need to sit down and spend time, like, stratting out the Elite Four, but I don't have that kind of time, so... Probably gonna wing it, probably wipe to Yumiko, I'd assume. Before is easy. Well, there's a core problem. I think I have a method of beating Shinki. But can that team beat everything else before it, deathless? Or maybe with one death at most. Like, I think my only method of beating the Shinki consistently is to sack something to it and switch in Satori for free. Otherwise, I don't think I can beat it. Outside of some extraordinarily niche poison spam, turbo, protect stall... Question mark, question mark, question mark. I randomly remember Band Slam 2009. I have no clue what that is. Eek! Ah, you piece of sh... Garbage cat, unfortunately, yeah. Oh, except all cats. That would be true hell. That sound? Oh, the sound in Touhou 11 when Orange shows up, she goes, meow! And then she shows up again, she goes, meow! And then she appears again, she goes, meow! Looking cat. Meow. Mickey doesn't meow, so I have been meowing myself. Oop. Patch can be made for that. We gotta get on it. Every time a kid shows up. Meow! Shot every time a character fires a bullet. The true way that Zune intended Touhou to be played. I really just went right for the middle. Oh, 1.99? Never been more Jover. Oh. good cat. Fuck, half stage 2. Okay, what do we got? What am I doing? What? I was not above the point of collection there? Come on. GG, the runs are done. Yeah, as long as you ignore this, it's the tied best run I've ever had on Thursday. We're cooked. Okay, hello again, Cat. Whoa, whoa, whoa there, cat. Oh, Lemon's posting links. Castle of the Shikigami doesn't ring a bell to me. What? What is that? That's a lot of Seiya. Get back to stage 2. This time we have nice power, though. The sheep is making more sheep. She tends to do that. And you know what? That means you have to kill all the sheep. Come on. Would you consider yourself attracted more would you consider yourself more attracted to curve laser type Damaku or music note type Damaku? Probably music note because I have had less time to hate music notes than I have lasers. Specifically curvy lasers, although lasers as a whole. I'm gonna go pee, I'll be back in a minute. And by pee, I mean not pee, get a water break. I didn't turn the overlay. You expect a DDC LNN after Touhou 16? No. Probably not. DLC LNN. DDC considered one of the easiest Touhous? For what? Like, the problem with DDC is, let's look purely... How they're supposed to burn LNN Touhou? Yeah, totally. The problem with DDC is the eternal issue that I've commented on many times before. In terms of at least LNNs, this is not other things, but LNNs, it has probably the hardest LNN in the entire series, apart from maybe Touhou 20. And it has one of the easiest LNNs in the entire series. Both packed into the same game. Like, the thing is, for casual, like, 1cc purposes, I don't know exactly how the game is on normal, but, like, the good news is, if you default to, like, the basic standard shots, it's like, Reimu A and Saki A are so unbelievably good that, like, even for a standard run, it's like, they just slaughter, like, everything. Contrast that to the opposites, and then you're looking at one of the worst experiences you've ever had, so... DDC is probably the most polarizing game? I don't know if that's quite the proper term, but it's probably not the worst term I've ever used. DDC is the most imbalanced game in the series, I would argue. That's another decent term, but I don't know if it's the best term to use. Can we get a fact check on this? Touhou 15, unquestionably the hardest LNN in the series. That's just not gonna be entirely true. That's just... USD, highly deceptive difficult. It's the last visible player hitbox. The lack of a visible hitbox is not what hurts the LNN. Having a visible hitbox would help a thing or two, but not much more than that. Like, there are people that would genuinely believe that USD is a harder LNN than Law K. And it's... You find it hard to believe that there's much RNG? It's probably the most RNG-based LNN in the entire series. USD. Yeah, like, USD is the most prime example of RNG. books. Yeah, well, you're also looking for AI summaries that, who knows how perfect they're going to be. They'll get some things right, and there's definitely some broad points that they have right, but let's argue there's not a whole lot of handwritten data on the market to really get them accurately picked up. Also, when it comes down to RNG, it's like Sakuya is arguably like the biggest RNG roguelike, and to a degree. Like, if you want the hardest Touhou game for LNN purposes, it might be Touhou 20. It's very fair, depending on what you're counting. Again, Touhou 20 is definitely a lot less explored than the others, so take it with a grain of salt, but, like, not that much. Not that many grains of salt. Outside of Touhou 20, DDC probably has the hardest run in the series, or the hardest single LNN in the series. But its average difficulty is strewn because of how hit or miss its shot types are. EOSD is extremely difficult, and if you take what is regarded as the easiest shot type in every game to try to LNN with, USD might be the hardest. If you take an average difficulty game, it might be a Wall K. That's definitely up there. So I would say Pod. Pod is a really, really weird game to rank. Its theoretical LNN is extremely difficult, but it's weird in how it goes. Pod is also not the game you're going to see on those things due to how few people talk about how little information there is out there too, right? The other thing about LoL K is because you have just so many casual fans who talk about LoL K being the worst or the hardest, so that also really throws that difficulty up. Seems really different for casual players. Plus, I think point device mode would also, casually speaking, work really nice in games that are not also LoL K. I almost wish it existed more. Not that I would ever engage with it myself, but try to patch in other games. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'd be merely taking random guesses. But difficulty ranking at Touhou is not the easiest thing, because first of all, things vary from like normal 1cc to lunatic 1cc to LNN to to LNB to LNN. There are definitely variances there. Individual experiences are going to vary. People are generally better or worse at different things. So that can definitely skew some things. Even just categorizing certain attacks and ranking things, you get a lot of like. There are definitely a number of things that are relatively consistent. Okay, like you want to rank the hardest games for LNN. Okay, you're looking at probably Touhou 20, LOL-K, USD, DDC's hard shot types, UFO. Right, like all those are gonna be right there. This game's not far behind it. But like where exactly you rate everything, like the nuances in the individual placements definitely get shit. If you're an absolute god at reading curved lasers, you might find UFO rather easy. UFO's curved lasers are a problem, but it's far from the only thing. Like, Stage 1, I don't think Stage 1 needs to be calmed down too much. This is for LNN purposes. Although there is definitely some translation elsewhere. Stage 2, Kogasa's hard, okay? Kogasa gets off easy gets off a little bit by the fact that she's not Ringo, and she's not Chimmy as well. But Kogasa is quite possibly the third hardest Stage 2 boss in the entire series. Like, Kogasa is not a good Stage 2 boss for a run. She is what? Get off? Yeah. Okay. Stage 3 is not particularly great for you. Okay. There are lasers. They're not curved lasers, but there's lasers. But, like, Ichirin has attacks that are a problem. That attack has 2 blue spam sections that are a flurry of bullets. They're not that bad, broadly speaking, for, like, spam-related sections, but it's still a rough stage. Stage 4? I don't know exactly how the LNN looks for the stage section. I don't think it's that bad. Murasa herself, though, definitely has her threat. Stage 5, I mean, if you ignore Sho's first 2 nons, the ones with the curvy lasers that are a problem, you still have Nazarin's mid-spell. Was it Great Grand Treasure or something? That's regarded as potentially the hardest attack in the entire game. It has nothing to do with the curved lasers. And that's not ignoring the spam section that is after the mid-boss, which is brutal. And, like, Sho's spells aren't free. Her first spell is hard, and the other ones are most certainly not free. And Byakurin, the stage section of Stage 6 I don't think is that bad for memory purposes, but Byakurin herself has quite a number of threats. At least fair threats. It's like, one of the more notable things about UFO is the curved laser problem. How come it's so often the random boss has the hardest attack in the game? I don't know if I'd say it's the hardest attack of the game oftentimes. What am I doing? Because, like, what other thing is it the hardest? None of Sakuya's attacks are the hardest in... Like, Books, which is right before the stage, before the mid-boss, is probably the hardest part of EOSD. If you don't want to count that as an attack, Scarlet Meister is harder than either of Sakuya's mid-bosses. Eternal Meek, not the hardest forever? No. No. At the bare minimum for LNN purposes, it's not... Like, sure, it's a threat, don't get me wrong, but... First of all, it has a safe spot. Even if you don't do the safe spot. Like... Even if you don't look at Remy, even if you just look at Sakuya, what's it called? What's her final? Killing Doll. Killing Doll is worse than Eternal Meek. Harder than Eternal Meek is the term I should use. And in Subterranean is a decent question. Is Catwalk the hardest attack in the game? Or hardest attack in the LNN? It's not impossible. Some people might say UNR, some people might say and/or Petaflare. Some people also might throw in a different random thing. But, like... Whether or not Catwalk is the hardest or not, some people disagree, some people agree. It's definitely up there. And Nazarene Grace Treasure is definitely there, too. If you want to see I as anything other than Reimu A. Well, it's not Reimu A, it's Border Team. It's Border Team or Solo Reimu, or the Reimu shot types. I did Border Team. For both Route A and Route B. I did not do any of the other teams. Kagro's mid-spell is quite tricky from DDC. Is it the hardest attack in the game? I think one of her main spells is probably harder, but it's certainly out there. I'll just certified blonde hater. I hate blonde people because I used to be blonde myself, but I'm no longer blonde, so I take out my hatred by complaining in Touhou about blonde characters. You're blonde? No. I'm brown hair. When I was little, I was blonde. I'm blonde and gray already. No, I'm not gray haired. Hi, Alan. Okay, Alan, here's a question for you. Broadly speaking, I don't need an exact number, just like a range, you know. Top 5, top 10, top 15, top 20, top 25. Where do you rank Eternal Meek in USD? Can I do the safe spot? You can. What if you were to say both? Doesn't square hole so true. Dude, I literally made that joke to my sister and her husband the other day, and they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, bro, you don't know. Fuck these people. Where's the triangle go? That's right, it goes in the square hole. I'm like, what are you referring to? I was like, everyone's seen that. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you fucking fucking... With safe spot, top 20 without top 5. Without top 5. There you go, 11. Is that a good enough answer for you? Where's Chen go? She goes with the squirrel, yeah. Also, would you comfortably say that Killing Doll is most definitely harder than Eternal Meek? No safe spot. Link to. Where you don't just stay on top of the enemy to cancel all the bullets. Maybe I should do that. Talking about Nazareth. You commented. KD is hard spell in the game. You put KD is harder than Meister for consistency. You said random mid-boss attack, hardest of the game, and then you posted Orin, Sakuya, and Nazareth. You don't get off so easily. When Raisin and I says, look at my eyes become even more insane, does that change based on the player character? Imperishable Night is the Touhou game that has been the longest since I last played, so I cannot talk too much on it, though. That's true, though. Yeah, that's what I mentioned about GT. Because there was a previous Kirby laser conversation, then I brought up GT afterward. And then I said that I don't know if Catwalk is the hardest attack in the game, but it's definitely in competition. Probably that or UNR. We all know that UNR is way harder than Petaflare. Petaflare is actually secretly free. UNR is the hardest attack in the game. He's showing more Sade like Ares inside. I'm so crazy that dark humor is just humor. Yeah, there was the one talisman off the screen. Terrible P collection. I still have 1.16. Probably take why I stayed 1 year because I died. For the billionth time, to be comprehensive with saltos you've edged during your LNNs. It's not actually that much. It's what? It's Orin, Takane, and Tsukasa? Is there any other I've intentionally edged? There's no edging in PCB. Or at least I didn't do any edging in PCB. I didn't do any edging in Moth. Because I do a delay. I do like a mild delay on Momiji, but that one's not edging. Because you don't damage, then stop. So it's a similar concept, but that one wouldn't be edging. Well, something. Yeah, it's a similar concept, but in the term for edging, quality edge. Because edging would be getting someone low and not killing them immediately, right? Well, on Momiji, it's like it's a timed delay. You just kind of like wait 2 seconds, then shoot. So it's a similar concept that you delay for a purpose, but it's not an edge. If you did it the different way, you just left the most unsatisfied. Sure. Actually, Orin was probably what left the most unsatisfied. Any attack that I edged but never finished would be, the most would be Orin mid non 2 from stage, 4. But, like, this is something I've thought about is, you know, because delaying / stalling / edging, you know, in different forms, it's like, is something that certainly exists in Touhou. And it's not terribly uncommon, but it's something that is very few and far between. Because the problem is, outside of really niche circumstances on, like, main bosses or something, the only times it's really relevant is mid-bosses. But then you're also looking at a scenario where the section after the mid-boss needs to be hard enough that it's worth delaying, or it's worth trying to, like, skip part of it, and the mid-boss needs to be, broadly speaking, easier than that section. So it certainly exists, and it exists definitely in many games, but it's like, generally speaking, you only see it like once a game, maybe. Like, if it exists, right? This is like the one game where it actually exists multiple times, but even that is like a little bit like asterisk. Yeah, W stage 5 mid, yeah. Because, like, let's ignore PC98 for a second. Let's just look at Windows, right? USD. You delay on Sakuya mid, right? Delay Sakuya mid, skip that post section. That's the one in the game, though, right? There's no other spot where you do that. That is also, like, relevant. So you just have that one. PC98 I love. I love PC98, but, like, for the purpose of this conversation, I'm gonna move past them. So, like, there's one there. PCB doesn't really have one. There's a couple parts where it's worth where I will say it is worth mentioning in PCB, but yeah, Lily time down does exist, or at least, like, stalling a couple seconds is real. And I've also seen people on the Yomu mid-boss. I believe skip non-1 skips the spell, if I'm not mistaken. If you time out the mid-non. I believe, seen people do that. Developing seen in Great Fairy Wars? Yeah, it definitely exists. So, there are a couple spots on PCB where it exists, and the Yomu one is, I would argue, technically optimal, but it's not really a major thing. Imperishable Knight, I have no clue. I'd have to refer to Alan on stalling / edging Imperishable Knight. I can't think of anything off the top of my head on Imperishable Knight where it's really relevant. Mountain of Faith. The only stalling I can think of in Mountain of Faith is on Momiji, where you want to stall for a second or two. At least that comes to mind. off the top of my head. I don't think there's anything else that is relevant. It's also ignoring extra stages, as I'm not familiar with edging on extras. How many girls' personal space have you intruded on your LNNs like Orin? Too many. I kiss Conoco. Speaking of which, Subterranean. Orin stands out. In fact, I would say that Stage 5 mid Orin is probably the biggest example of stalling in Touhou. And it's also one that it's also probably, in theory, the most complicated stall. It's probably the biggest one, might be the most notorious one in that mind. And it's probably the most complicated one. And/or is also probably a little bit of a gray one. Like, and by gray, I mean, what do you do is not necessarily going to be what everyone does. Because there are people that will skip Cat's Walk and do popcorn. Narumi? Is there stall on Narumi? Oh, are you talking about invading personal space? So yeah, you have a really notable thing at Subterranean, but it's still just one. UFO. I can't speak about mid bosses in UFO. I don't know about I don't think there's a mid-boss you stall on UFO. There is something that is worth noting on UFO. There's Stage 5 mid-non time down for no token route. Interesting. There is one thing I want to talk about, though, in UFO, and that is Marasa Spell 2. In that it has a stall mechanic in it, where because of the fact that if you kill at the wrong time, its bullets can linger into the next attack, there is an instance of edging that is optimal on the attack. So that is that's one of the examples of a non mid-boss edge that you would do for the mechanics of that attack specifically. Because the mechanic of killing an attack or a wave at just the right time, that the wave lingers to the next wave and or attack, exists in Touhou and at least a couple other spots, but that Marasa one is really the one that does exist. And it's not that common, but it's at least worth noting in case you happen to get that overlap of damage at the right time. This window I think is a little bit bigger. Because, technically, Lunasa Non-1 it exists, but it's so hard to trigger on Lunasa Non-1 that it's not something you really need to consider too much. Anyway, 10 Desires. I cannot speak as if there's any stalling on 10 Desires. You have something like the time down stage 4 mid-boss. Fair. DDC, you're going to be familiar with that. You said there's at least some. You speak as if Desire Drive is a good song. Desire Drive is very solid. It's not my favorite stage theme. I don't know if I put it top 5, but it's probably top 10 or top 15. It's a really good stage theme. DDC, stage 1 mid-spell, stage 4 time down, stage 5 time down. D. Lol K. Does Lol K have any? I can't think of if it would have any. Hidden Star. I'll take your word on anything for Hidden Star. And Wily Beast. and start stage 5 mid-U time down. This game you have 3 examples of stalling down, edging. It's also interesting because edging is actually better than timing out in this game. Give Wily Beast. Well, I said both for Hidden Star and Wily Beast. That's on you. I have no knowledge of Wily Beast or Hidden Star time downs. Time down, stalling, edging, timeouts, whatever. I said those are both on you for, like, knowledge. I know nothing about what would be relevant there. You edge YYD on your LNN. There's no point in it. No, I will not do that. Like, all of Stage 2, Stage 5, and Stage 6 in this game have stalling strats. Although there's a little bit of an asterisk on it. I think Stage 5 is the one that really matters. And the others two are a little bit of an asterisk. And the reason I say they're asterisk, Stage 2, for survival purposes, it's technically optimal to time it down, in my opinion. I do that very rarely nowadays, partially just because I want power gain. Not for a single reason other than it's just something to do. And the Stage 6 in this game, the time down is going to be important depending on who you're playing as. As Alan says, if you're Saki in this game, I definitely think, you know, I will give the credence to you in saying, yeah, time down the, or stall, edge the mid-boss of Stage 6. As Reimu, that's not a concern. That section is just pretty smooth. You don't have to worry about it. How does that work with Sanai and Marissa? I assume Sanai can do that section fine, and Marissa probably struggles. Is my initial assumption. But I couldn't actually tell you. And the Touhou 20, I don't know about the stalls off the top of my head. There's ideas of Stage 2 mid time. No, right. I remember the Stage 2. I remember that Stage 2 mid on.